welcome to iconic production of The Dark Eye on Ulysses International's Twitch channel. Hopefully you watched Act 1 and enjoyed it. We kind of left not quite on a cliffhanger, but with some questions as an elf showed up. Quick reminder, the 21st is the next crowdfunding from Ulysses International for The Dark Eye, and it's the Gods of Aventuria. You want to know more about the gods, get some neat new spells, cover some of the gods that aren't in the core book, you should look into it. I know I will. So, last session, our intrepid adventurers traveling down the Realm Road, east, heading towards Gareth, the capital of the Empire, came across some bandits who were trying to kidnap a wealthy farmer in the area. They rescued him. He might have been saved by his professional bodyguard, Hennefrid Altlapper, but there was 6 on 1. So they joined in the fight, drove off the bandits, killed one. He invited them to this farm at Moor's End. They went there. They're being treated as heroes in the town, drinking at the local tavern, retelling the story again and again of how Darisha smashed one of the bandits into the mud with her hammer. When a tall elf walked in and asked for a member of the town who hadn't been alive for over 100 years. And his great-great-grandson stood up and said, basically, I'm his descendant, and that's where we left off. Hopefully the chat will jump in again. They were quite lively last session, and I would hopefully the chat's listening, because I went back now and I've named all the bandits: Buzz, Neil, Tom, Alan, Gus, Roger, and Ed. Astronauts all. Well, one actor who played an astronaut. So they all have names now if you ever run into the survivors. And I will refer to them by name. So there we are in the Laughing Guido. The elf has walked in, and to refresh your memory, she says, "Greetings, humans. I am Amarandel from the Glade Folk, and I seek Eberwin Whitnicken." Alric, one of the townsfolk you haven't met yet, but Alric rises and steps forward. After clearing his throat, he looks at the elf and says, "Eberwin was my great-grandfather." The tall elf seems to consider this for a moment, then shakes her head and beckons to Alric, saying, "I have a message for him." A murmur rises in the room when the woman pulls an old piece of parchment, a plain ring, and a fist-sized blue-green glowing rock. It does give off light from her cloak, and hand it over to Alric. "Questions burn on your lips, human," the elf remarks when she sees Alric's questioning gaze. "Come, let us walk for a while. I will tell you more." The two are gone for some time before the villagers manage to shake off their initial surprise and try to return to their gregarious evening. But even then, the strange visitor is the only thing anyone can talk about. It was you, but now this tall 6'8" elf walked in and just stunned them, and they leave the inn. What do you do? Anyone?
Oh, how quickly we become old news.
Yes, you're not the latest news anymore. Eco?
Well, it would be... Part of me wants to sneak after them, but I'm also pretty certain I could not hide from the elf. So, Rodrigo. Did you ever play hide and seek with an elf?
No. But I see where you're going, and now I am going, and
okay.
I will try to stealth out there.
Okay, so you exit the inn. Freodin, Hannafrid, Darisha. Just want to know what you're doing before I move on.
So you said earlier that there was a forge in the town. Does the blacksmith appear to be in the pub with us?
I believe he is. Yes. You can tell who the blacksmith is. He doesn't have his leather apron and his hammer, but you can just tell from kind of the streaks of black on his face. Like he washed some, but it's still dirty. And you can tell his forearms have the telltale little burn marks of working the forge as it splattered. And you grew up in that kind of environment. You knew who the Smiths were. It burns your arms. That's just what it does. So you can tell that's probably the blacksmith over there.
So I will take him a tankard of whatever it is he's drinking.
Okay, everyone's drinking the local ale. Remember, you guys have the good stuff.
Well, I'm drinking.
I thought I told him to share the good stuff with everybody.
Oh, he brought to your table. He didn't know you were playing it with everyone.
Oh, yeah.
That's. Do you want to correct him on that? When you could look for him.
No, we've already had our conversation.
Okay. You can give me a perception, see what he's doing if you want.
Oh, that could be interesting. This is not going to have a whole lot of quality levels to it, I can tell you this right now.
Could be.
Where's my perception?
And then while we're waiting, you can go ahead and do your stealth roll. So when I get to you, you can give me your QL at where you're at.
Very
Actually, Gisbert, remember the teenage son?
Yep.
He sits down next to you. He has this mooncalf look in his face as he looks at Odelia Morzender, another young woman about his age. And he goes, Hannafrid, how can I woo her? He's looking for advice.
Age a decade.
I can't wait.
And that's why you can't woo her.
QL2.
Okay. QL2 for your perception. You see him. You see him sitting at a table with two other fellows you haven't been introduced, and they have very animated see hands going and stuff. You're kind of too far away to hear them. You can see them talking about some stuff.
Excellent. How about some lip reading on that?
That's another perception roll. Your quality will be for the lip reading to see how well you can interpret
I can work with that.
what they're doing. I mean, you speak their language, so that's the first step. Evan, what's your stealth?
I am QL4.
Of course you are.
I didn't quite crit. I rolled a 1 and a 3, but those were anyway.
So remember that one fate ability. If you want to spend a fate point,
Ooh.
you can lower it. There's certain fate special abilities. If you have the fate special ability for attributes, which would be on the first page where your fate points are, they're like luck.
Yeah.
You can spend them. So if you fail by like 2 points, so you need a 13 and you roll a 15, you can spend a fate and make that 15 a 13. You can also make a 3 into a 1.
Yeah.
It's pretty powerful, but you only have 3 fate points. So
That's true.
if you roll a 3 and you really want it to be a crit, you can spend your fate and luck tugs on those strings and it becomes a 1. And then you would confirm it. But 2 1s on a skill
like
check.
it's
An elf.
this seems like it's I'm intrigued enough, so I will -1 fate point and turn that into a 1, which means
And like a lot of, like other games with our possibilities and weird points and stuff, you can earn them back either through really great play or at the end of the adventure they would refresh and you'd get your fate points again because you haven't permanently burned them.
Yeah.
Or
Okay,
by
so
being particularly funny.
Yeah, funny or just excellent role playing, or something at the moment. Some of those great puns, like we had, I believe it was a tour game. Puns were flying. So,
Right. So that's
by lowering that, does that raise it to QL5 or is it just a crit?
Oh,
QL4
so
with a crit.
what does the crit do? I'm sorry. Let me show my ignorance.
Well, what's your QL by lowering of those 2 points? Does that give you just a little bit more? Just overall?
Right. Well, so I guess I have to refresh my memory on how I calculate the QL, because I succeeded. So I rolled under each of the attributes successfully.
Okay. So what's your SR in stealth? How many points do you have left in that?
10. And I had that already.
Yeah, so you had somewhere between 10 to 12 points left?
Oh, well, I guess it's, I do get a plus. Well, how does, so I have a 10 SR.
Yep.
And I succeeded all the rolls. And then I also have in my notes, because of a skill that I have +2 in sneak, but I don't know if that adds to the SR or if it adds.
It would. So in sneaking, so if you're trying to, there's sneak and move silent and stuff. So sneaking, remain hidden, you're at 12, which is still the same quality level.
Still the same quality level.
Yes.
And I don't know what the crit is, if the crit does anything else.
I'm taking a quick check to make sure I just don't give you too much for it, but.
Well, that would be okay. Come on.
Well, combat's pretty quick. I tell you specifically, half the defense, double your damage. It's pretty cut and dry.
Right,
so I think I will look real quick. If I can't find it too quickly, I will make a determination.
Fair enough.
QL4 is really high to begin with, so. I'm going to go with it because she still gets to try to notice you as you move out.
Okay.
You move out. It wasn't that quick. I mean, you weren't right on her heels, so you don't bump into them.
Right.
You kind of step out quietly, step into the shadow as you do, a little lantern in front of the door, step into the shadows, scan around. There they are, just kind of leaving the open area that the town, it's clear, kind of the green, the village green in the middle, so that you see them kind of pass between two of the huts, heading towards more of the woods, and you can sneak your way over that way. They don't go far. They kind of move into under the eaves of the woods. Maybe she feels more comfortable in the woods, and she stops. And I will see her perception. And I will see if Alaric, no, that's even worse. Okay.
I'm gonna be very quiet and
they don't seem to respond to you as you sneak and get behind a tree and get close enough that you can hear what they're saying.
All right.
She lets him know, and you've heard this in the legends already. About 100 years ago, she met Ulark, and they adventured together. And after a fight, he was poisoned, and before he died, he gave me that map, that ring, which he said opens the door, and that stone as proof of the treasure. And he was to give it to Eberwin. I am sorry, I sometimes forget how short-lived humans are. And when I remembered, I brought it here. So it is your to do as you wish. He looks kind of unbelieving and stuffs it into his pockets. And she says, I'm sorry, I am late in this. May you have a long and prosperous life. And it walks off into the woods.
So she's gone?
She leaves, and he kind of hangs his head, and then he leaves the woods, and he seems, instead of heading to the tavern, it looks like he's heading to a different residence in the little village.
And I'm sorry, his name again was?
Alric.
Alric.
Alrik.
So can I kind of appear beside him?
You can, yeah, you can pop out when he's back in the village, I guess, or you want to scare him in the woods?
No, I just want him to. Well, it might scare him. I just like him to be walking along and suddenly, hey, there's Rodrigo.
Yeah, once you're in town, it's easy to kind of, oh, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Nico, what'd you get on your read lips?
QL1 with exceptional sight.
And what's your exceptional sight?
It just added 1 to the test number, so.
Oh, so you're a QL2?
No, I'm a QL1 because I rolled for crap, and the exceptional sight was the only thing that allowed me to have a QL1.
So really you fail, but you have exceptional sight. Now, just to refresh everyone's memory with fate, you can spend fate to re-roll 1, 2, or all 3 of your d20s if you'd like. They're like luck. You can use them to re-roll if you need to, if you'd like to.
Yeah, sure. I only have so much fate. I'll try it. Okay, that helps. Clear. Wow. Okay. 0 through 3, and then 4 through 6.
Yep.
So QL3 because I have 7.
Okay.
And everything was under on that.
On top,
So
right?
what?
And then exceptional sight on top.
Yeah. So the 13 would become a 14, right?
No, it just, if it adds to the QL, you just figure out your QL, which is 3, and then you add 1, which would be QL4.
Oh, God. Okay. I totally misread how that works.
Yep. But as to your QL, you figure it all out and then add to it. So you can see, it's almost like your cyborg, and your eyes zeroes in on their lips. You, I'm trying to correct. One of the people at the table that's not Jasper that you don't know says, Jasper, did you see that? That stone had to be from the treasure. And the other person says, we must go talk to Jasper about this. It's ours. And Jasper tells them, just not right now. Let's relax. I will talk to Alric in the morning, and we'll work this out. He can't keep it for himself.
Okay, then.
'17s and 19s. He doesn't notice anybody watching him and reading his lips. If you burn the ink down, they wouldn't know.
Don't tempt me.
Yeah. Anyone else just hanging out with the villagers, drinking?
I want to ask the blacksmith for any local gossip he's got.
This is an unexpected night off, so I'm enjoying myself.
Normally, I would have plenty of gossip, but after this, what happened today between your group saving Bosper and just, did you see her? She's so tall. We've never had an elf here before.
They're not common.
Oh, drink of ale.
I've seen a few elves in my day, though.
We've had plenty of dwarves pass through. Noring holds his hand out. Noring Kramau, village blacksmith. It's a mighty fine hammer you have there.
Thank you. I hold it up so he can see the symbol of Angrash on there.
Ah, Ingram, a fine god to follow.
He has bestowed favor upon me.
Ooh. Let me know if you need to work the forge.
Thank you, I will.
I would be honored. Back to Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, that's him.
You startled me.
1,000 pardons. I could not help but notice that you had a conversation with that very tall elfin lady.
He glances back the way he came. Yes. Why? In a very guarded way.
Oh, well, since we have, as we have just faced danger that threatened this village, and we are the guests of the mayor. I wanted to be assured that, and I'll take him conspiratorially, pat him on the shoulder, getting close, and say that there was nothing that would require Rodrigo and his friends to come to the defense again, and if there was, that we would be ready.
Thank you. You have to pardon me. I'm very tired.
But
I will see you tomorrow at the Harvest Festival.
Is there danger?
In Morzen? No. You drove the bandits away, you said.
Why are you so scared?
Just being careful around strangers.
No. Well, that is very reasonable. And I would like to see if I can pick his pocket.
Yes. You want to pick him up.
Ideally, I would take the ring and the map, but I don't know. I'm not quite as good.
Trying to pickpocket. Well, I guess you can. There we go. Just pulling the chat up. I usually follow along, but I didn't get my alert that it started, and it slipped my mind. Let us consult the book of rules. We have a question on the chat about the maps. These were downloaded. Well, this is from the English version of the book, and that one came from Warring Kingdoms. that Ulysses put out. And this one I found online. Google's your friend. Go look for maps. A lot of them are in German. They're labeled in German, but it's very easy to translate when you see the English version of the map. All from Ulysses sites. Skills. Let us look up pickpocket. As long as you don't tell me that you want to steal his pants. Some of you will.
I think my pants are just fine. So
there's a movie short that some people did of a gaming group, and that's what the rogue does. I steal his pants because he was that good.
very good.
It's not lore. It's not, wait. It is one of those. Pickpocket right after perception. Steal small items such as purses, keys, amulets, or cut holes in money bags. So you're trying to get to the stuff that he stashed from.
Yeah.
From
I'd leave him the gem if it were not hard to do, but I mean, if I've got to take everything.
The blue glowing stone is thinking something the size of like an ostrich egg.
Right.
In size, not fairly small. So it's fairly
Right.
large. Hold it in your fist. It glows. The ring is a ring, so it's fairly small. And then you have the paper that's folded up.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know if he like put them all in a bag together, which I might lift from him, or if they're just sort of loose in some sort of pocket or something. You know, I would. My goal is the map and the ring.
I found that critical success for your stealth because it's in the stealth description. I basically double your SR for my competitive check. So your stealth would have went to 20, so it would have been very hard. You find the perfect spot to hide.
Yeah.
So, pickpocket. Okay, I guess we need to make our roll and see how well you botch it.
Yeah. Well.
That's one thing. If you botch, you can't use a fate point to unbotch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'm a very dangerous man.
Yeah, I know.
All right. But let's see. That's going to be a success. Yeah. Because 14 and 4 times exactly, and that's under 50. Okay. So, yes. So I have a QL2, which is the best that I can achieve.
QL2.
Can achieve without a critical.
Just have to make sure. It is a versus perception stuff.
Okay.
I'll look up his numbers, but I'm pretty sure that 17 just blew it out of the water.
Well, my friend.
Yeah, I took it when you lean in close to be a conspirator and put your hand on his shoulder. You know, you distract the senses to why is he touching me?
Yeah.
Ignore this other hand stealing your money pouch.
That's right. My friend, you should go get your rest.
Where is important stats? There we go. Yay.
And it's true. You should not trust strangers.
Oh. It seems when he didn't critically succeed, but his opposition made it a failure.
Oh.
So, yeah, I didn't realize your number wasn't too bad. Five. Yeah, so we'll say, because he didn't really beat you, but it mitigated down enough that you reach in and you think you grab the right pouch, which is where you would put it, and you just get a few coins, a few kreutzers. There's no ring, there's no letter, so he must have stuck it in a different pocket in his cloak or something, so you don't get your goal, as it were. But it didn't alert him enough to pull a dagger and start fighting you.
That's good. Well.
Yes, very, very good advice. I will see you tomorrow at the harvest. Thanks. Good day, sir. And he heads to the house kind of at the end of this lane. You're near the large farm that Vosper owned, and his is the next smaller resident. You see a lot of herb, like an herb garden around it, very low wall, and he goes into that dwelling.
Does it have a dog?
Not that you can see from here.
Okay. Well, I go back to the tavern.
Okay.
And I'll give the money. Well, no, I won't give the. I will give the contents of the purse to the proprietor and say, keep the drinks going.
Ah, very good, very good. He happily pockets the money. You are quite popular as townspeople hear this. And since tomorrow is a festival day, they're not too worried about getting up for their normal farm work. So they will stay up late and drink. Huzzah! The blacksmith was quite impressed with the good ale that you brought over there, Durisha.
Yay!
Anything else? Now, there is, if you really want to say, okay, I'm drinking heartily, there is a carousing skill in this to see if you get levels of stupor as you drink yourself silly. Or you can just socially have a couple of ales and be okay. Or maybe
Carouse is one of those for getting some information while you're actually plying people with drink, right?
It can be, or, you know, Durisha breaks out the dwarven whiskey, and then every drink is a check.
I have points in carousing, but a certain elf castmate o' mine used to have disadvantage carousing. It was quite funny.
Yeah, she failed a lot. It was good.
Where is my... There we go.
In the Bornland, we drank a lot of Miss Guinness, which is like a honey whiskey. There is actually a German drink called Barenjäger that is very close, we figured, to that. Of course, we had to try it. So.
Of course.
I wouldn't be drinking to get drunk. That's just dumb.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, you've lived here long enough, you know who not to really get drunk with in this town. They're nice now. No. But yeah, it's still, not everyone gets drunk. They drink and talk, and, you know, it's your local ale.
That's the reason I like sheep better.
They don't get drunk and
They're warm when you pass out?
There's that too.
There's a statement you don't hear every day.
Not very often. So if that's it, we'll finish the night. Vosper has nice rooms at his farm. He even kicks a couple of servants out of their rooms and tells them to go Sleep in the barn. These guests must have beds. Not you, Hannafred. You have your own room. This is more the other farmhand types.
Nicolo,
Yes,
a word.
certainly.
Um,
As we get conspiratorial.
Indeed. So, Alric is a descendant of one of the bandits. And that elf, well, you saw the gem. The ring is a key. And there's a map. And I can only imagine that, well, if there's a one descendant of bandits here, there's probably, well, a band of them.
Well, I could tell you there's at least 3 more. And they were sitting all at the table talking about this exact same thing. In theory, they are going to talk with Ulrich in the morning, but part of me is also wondering if someone isn't going to have more forcible conversation tonight.
Well,
But that's not why I'm here. So, tomorrow's a party. We party.
I would. It would be unfortunate if Ulrich, something befell Ulrich.
Yes.
And I think there's got to be many troubles with this treasure. Now, I'm a simple man, and I would, of course, like some treasure. But these are very nice people. So, I don't know. I am a man of certain talents, and I could probably maybe...
We might
Well,
share several
certainly.
talents.
We could certainly keep an eye on his house. Is just next door?
I think that is a great idea.
And we could, take the danger away from it.
You've been so generous, Rodrigo.
But I don't know. And I don't know who's in his house. And I don't know if he has a dog. These are all complicated things. And
None of this is a problem.
Well,
It's all about the information. If he has a dog, we should have heard it already. If he doesn't have a dog, then it's quiet. If he has a dog and it's not making noise, then it's really well trained. Or it's muzzled.
And then that is a problem.
So really, we just do a little bit of walking around and looking and listening, and that's it. We take a little constitutional, yes?
I am very much agreed with you.
Excellent.
The other thing is, what about, we got a lawman with a magic sword, and there's a very big lady with a big club who, but she's not, she doesn't love the people around here. She doesn't hate them, I don't think, but I don't know. And then there's the dwarf. She is very dangerous. But
Yes, she is, but she's also mercenary and well-paid mercenary.
well,
Oh, they don't know Doris's background.
No.
no, we don't. So I don't know. Do we say something?
But right now, let's just find out as much information as we can, and make any additional plans based off of that.
That's a fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Just
of
as
course,
a reminder, you know what happens when you kill someone's dog. We've
Oh,
all
yeah.
seen that movie, right? So
yeah, no, that's a
Just-
very bad. So, of course, Winifred probably knows if Alric has a dog or not, but we can go and take a little walk. The other thing is, of course, maybe you can't trust me and I can't trust you.
What am I going to say about you? You're a fine, upstanding gentleman with very fine qualities. Come on.
Well, I dress it very nicely.
And that is the least best thing about you.
You're very kind. All right. Well, I think we should
Let's have a
let the players-
walkabout, and then we'll deal with whatever, when.
Agreed.
okay, so you want to leave the farmhouse.
Yeah,
The stars out here are not like they are in the city.
we could see them better out here.
Indeed.
No, that's fine. I can tell you for sure the Bospers farm has dogs.
I want to make the dogs
Big sheepdogs.
very friendly.
Big shifty dogs?
Sheepdogs.
Oh, sheepdogs, okay.
You can have
Yes.
sheepdogs. Sheep. SHEEP.
Yes, sheepdogs.
But you want to
Sailing
check
away.
out.
Woof, 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 woof.
There's a nice doggy.
Alric. Do I need to quickly pencil in a big wolfhound?
Right. Exactly. I
Only
had
if they're
a bad
aggressive.
experience.
Give him good stats.
Sheepdogs are very well trained.
Okay. I can't see it. There's the village.
Ah.
That's the big farm, and that's the Alric's house, right next door.
Oh,
Not a big place. It's right across from the Boron yard. In case you're superstitious or anything.
Derek.
I can tell you from experience, you do not want to annoy Boron.
Or at least one of his priests. So you walk out. I guess you're trying to be nonchalant, or you're going to try to sneak around.
I'm going to be absolutely nonchalant until it actually gets to a point where I need to be sneaky. Because
Okay.
really, casing, you don't want to look out of place when you're casing something.
Okay.
And
Yeah, so you walk by, you can see an herb garden. You see a small house, hut. You see an area that's covered, kind of like a carport. You see stuff hanging like it's drying, so it doesn't get rained on. Back near the garden. You don't readily hear any dogs barking. You might hear a dog barking across the green at somebody else's place there. But you can give me perception if you want any kind of detailed information.
I do want
You're gonna
that.
give me a brown, black, and white attack cat.
Oh no. Okay. So
Yeah, exactly. He's watching.
I'll watch
He's
it.
looking at you with disdain.
Mark, would
That's-
I need to give you 2 different checks if I had hearing or sight? Or both?
Yeah, if you have any kind of specialized for hearing or for sight, anything that gives you a bonus, then say I've got QL with sight and QL with my hearing if they're different.
Okay. All based on the same roll, though?
Yeah, sure. Just one roll. Just let me know what the modifiers. They're probably not that huge. It'll probably be about the same, I'm guessing.
So I got a QL3 on my perception.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a QL2 on both hearing and sight.
Okay. You hear the breeze through the grass, cicadas chirping, creak of a loose shutter. Exactly. From thousands of miles away, you hear that. But you don't seem to find the worrisome guard dog that you're looking for. There's no lights from the house. Nothing's going on.
And is this likely to be just one big room in the house, or is it of the size?
It looks small enough that it's probably one room. You know, think medieval cottage where your fireplace is in one kind of corner, one wall, the bed's over on the other side. It's not very big. Bosper has rooms and multi-story, and it's a very nice. He has money.
Yeah.
Most of them are like that. They're fairly small. The inn actually had a second story. There were rooms up there if you wanted to pay for rooms, but why pay when someone gives you a free room?
Indeed.
Hannaford has her own room. Teresha gets a room, and Nico, Rodrigo, and Preodin get to share a room. So Preodin, you're in your room doing your thing, and Nico and Rodrigo step out for a breath of air. It's kind of hard to hear their pick up exactly what they're talking about. They speak so quickly with different accents. They talk about the stars and catching some air.
So if like an inordinate amount of time passes that I think that they've been out a while or whatever, and I think maybe I'll knock on Teresha's door and ask her if she knows where they went, or and thinking that they may be out causing the trouble that they tend to get themselves into.
You have heard stories of those Southerners.
And maybe we should go try to figure out what they're up to.
You want me to go
I'm
look?
feeling called out.
Because I'll go look for them.
Yeah.
How long do you spend out there? I mean, it's not a very big village.
Yeah.
He's right next door. You kind of walk around a little bit. You don't see anything that sets off alarms. With the QL3, I mean, you can look. You don't see, as you're casing the joint. Is that one of your abilities?
I have a streetwise ability that's judge location.
Yes, that's part of casing the joint. So if you want to give me that, it will tell you how easy it will be to break into this place. Like blocks on the windows and.
All right. Then I will give that a try.
If it's multi-story, is it very easy to climb up? Is it smooth? Like, oh no, look, there's a tree and there's vines and downspouts. It would be a piece of cake to climb up and get in to that unlocked window.
Yes. Okay.
The chat room suggests I should have dogs the size of ships.
Well,
yes, Fenris is guarding his door. The chat's quite lively.
All right, I got a a QL2.
QL2. If you wanted to break into this place, you figure it's going to be pretty easy. I mean, you look at the door like, yeah, it's probably like a little wooden latch that keeps it shut from the wind, but you don't see a lock. The windows, no locks. It's a single story.
I don't hear deep snoring from inside, though.
Well, you'd have to go up to the building to do that. You were kind of just, this is
All right.
walking down the lane, looking at the place and casing it up. It's like, yeah, I could get in there pretty easy.
Yep.
Now, if you want to sneak close and try to listen to see if someone's asleep, that would be different.
Yeah. Well, Nico. It's not hard to get in there, but I have to see whether or not he's asleep. I don't want this to. This is I'm not an assassin, at least not at this point. He's just a poor villager who's got a story about being descended from a bandit. And now he's got a magic ring and a glowing rock and a
He is a
treasure.
poor peasant. He is not worth assassinating.
Absolutely. So, if you want to keep an eye out, hey,
The good news is they don't want to kill him.
Sure.
They didn't say they won't. It's just, it's not really, we don't really need to kill him.
But
Yeah,
unless you want to,
I will be right here at this post that delineates the difference between Bosphorus and our gentleman friend. And I will be standing right here looking up into the sky and around just to enjoy the night air.
I can picture it in my mind.
And if somebody asks me where you went, it's simple. You went behind a tree over there to go take a dump. That's why it's taking you so long. Easy.
All right. One way in.
Oh, well, there's the door, there's the window.
Right. But yeah, there's not like a back door or one main.
Yeah, just the one.
Yeah.
The one door.
All right. Well, it's a very dark. So I will creep up there and listen and use my senses to try and see if I can get a sense of what's going on inside. Let's see. Oh, is it? Okay. So I got a QL1.
Okay.
Boy, those cicadas are loud.
You've done this quieter before. You know, you lift the latch, push the door open. There's a slight creak. Maybe if he had maintained his door a little bit better, it would just silently open.
Okay, but this was actually for me to listen before he.
Oh,
before,
okay. I'm sorry.
Before breaking in.
Okay. QL1, just for your perception to listen in.
Yeah.
I could use my favorite line when rogues do this is it sounds like wood.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, no, you don't hear any snoring. Yeah, the cicadas, you hear those. You don't hear movement inside. You don't hear any snoring.
So then, is this like a pick lock or something else to?
There is no lock. It looks like,
DVD?
a simple wooden latch on the inside. So there's just a bar that sticks out, kind of a handle that you just lift and lifts the bar, door opens. It's just really to keep it shut so the wind doesn't blow it. But there's no lock per se.
Okay.
locks are expensive. You have to pay someone to make them.
Yes.
Vosper has locks.
Yes. All right. Then I will try to stealth in.
Okay.
Very carefully, very quietly.
Botch.
Well, that would be more entertaining, certainly. So 6 eyes. I succeed, but I don't have my vaunted. I have a QL3.
QL3. Give him a perception check here with the penalty because he's asleep. And why not? Fail. Fail by a lot. Yeah. Now that the door's open, you definitely hear it. Not very loud. He doesn't need a CPAP machine or anything. He's pretty good, but there's a little bit of a snore going on.
All right. All right. Now.
I mean, it'd be a simple thing just to, nick an artery and let them bleed out if you want.
I'm not a monster.
I can see the legend changing from the kobolds to, the 5 that came in and burned down the town and stole everything, and the Duke will have to send his troops after you. Who needs a written adventure? Just
So now I got to try and figure out. I mean,
it'll be a perception to search for stuff, but there's going to be a penalty because it's very dark inside the house. There's no moonlight or starlight.
Yeah.
And I'm totally ready for whatever you guys want to do. But I already got your intent. You don't really want to kill him. You just want to stone and magic ring.
Map and magic ring. He can keep the stone.
It's a very expensive stone.
Yeah, well, there are more in the cave.
You hope. You know how legends are.
Yeah, well, So I will give my perception a try here. Let's see. That might not be too good. Let's see. Sagacity.
Yeah, with the darkness, we're talking. It's going to be a -2 or -3.
Okay, and is that from the SR or from?
Nope, that'll be from all of your attributes. So let me take a quick look.
I see.
The GM shield has got great stuff in it.
Ooh.
Not falling. Visibility. Yeah, we're going to say -3. So all your attributes are 3 less.
See. Okay.
Across the board.
All right. Well, then that is going to fail.
Okay, so you're looking around. You can't really see anything because it's just so dark. He's only got the one window. Curtains are drawn. There's a little bit of light coming through the doorway, so you don't botch, right?
No, I do not.
Okay, so you don't bump into furniture and send it clattering. But you're looking around, you really can't see anything unless you light a lantern or a torch or had a glowing blue stone or something like that that would provide light.
He does.
He does, but it must be tucked away somewhere.
Must be tucked away somewhere. Yeah, and if I was him, I'd probably be sleeping on it. And is he on a pallet, on a kind of a rope bed, or what is he?
Yeah, it kind of looks like a rope bed. I mean, it's not on the floor. It's a bed built into the wall or up against the wall. He might do well enough. It might, probably has some stuff in the mattress or something. So
yeah, I'm gonna sit down. And I'm just gonna put my hand over his mouth.
Oh, so you sit down on the bed?
Yeah.
Okay. Father Bell, this is not. I can.
Alric, wakey, wakey. Oh, and I got a knife in my other hand.
Okay, you wait. Doesn't make much. You wake him up. His eyes get big.
I was thinking about what we were talking about before. And I really couldn't wait until the morning, because that's when the other descendants of the bandits are going to come, and they're going to beat you up and take the stuff that they don't think that you ought to have from you while everybody's at the festival. And I think it's going to be very bad. So maybe we can have a conversation about how, for a certain percentage, I could help work that out, me and my friends. Because after all, whatever that is, that's all stuff that was stolen 100 years ago. Do you think you could talk very quietly with me? Show him the knife. But we could maybe work something out. You wouldn't be thinking about making a loud noise that I would have to become very quiet very quickly.
His eyes get big.
You're a very nice man. So, I want to have a very nice conversation. Okay, let's talk.
Do you take your hand off his mouth?
I do. Very
Okay.
gently.
Who's coming to get me?
Well, there's a proprietor of your tavern and a couple of other of his friends.
Jasper.
That's the man. How many you got this, there's the story of the kobolds and they all disappeared, but it seems like they all just settled down. Is that right? That's what your great grandfather do?
Yes, that's unfortunately, from what I understand, the bandits settled and became farmers and waited for my great grandfather to return with the key. I really don't care about it. I don't want it. There's blood on that money. I'm a man of peace. He gestures to his stuff on the table. I heal people.
That is a very important. See, I told you, you're a very nice man. But there seems like a problem with that Jasper and the other. They maybe didn't grow into men of peace. They seem to be a men of greed, which I very much understand.
I'm a vice president of the Greedy Club. I have a feeling I know why you left Vinsalt now.
But I'm not a bad man. But I do a bad things. But it does seem like some of this could help out your village some. But it could help me a lot too. So maybe we could work something out. Your mayor seems he's a very nice man. But we need to make sure that the craziness of the village and the inherited greed doesn't cause the kind of problems that I foresee.
He understands that not everyone is as nice as they appear. I was taken by surprise when the elf showed up. I really don't want anything to do with what's there. I think it's better to be left where it lies.
Well, that's going to be very difficult because you have the ring and the map and a glowing rock. And
Yes, he reaches under his pillow and pulls out, and it lights up the room. Do you want it?
well, the thing is, if you give it to me, then your neighbors are still going to come and they're going to ask you for it. And you're going to say, I don't have it. And they're going to say, you're lying. They're going to threaten you. They're going to break things in your house. And then they're going to get desperate. And they're going to start to hurt you. So here's what I think you ought to do. I think what you want to do is, yeah, you want to give those to me. And then you want to go to the mayor at the festival in the morning before your neighbors come to see. And you want to say, I have given these things to my good friend Rodrigo and his friend. And they are going to solve the mystery of the cover. And then your friends, your neighbors, they're not going to come to you. They're going to have to deal with me and my friends. And I think they're going to be much more reluctant to break my things and to threaten my life. What do you think?
Okay, I guess.
I think we working this out very good. Now, did your great-grandfather, well, did he say anything else?
No.
Down through the family?
Nothing was passed down direct. It was just the legends. It's 100 years ago. Some people believe it. I wasn't entirely sure it was true.
Well, when this is all over, if you want it, it seems like this glowing rock would be very nice in this house. And I'm happy to give it back to you. But let's not come see the mayor early tomorrow. Well, later today, you know.
Oh, okay. And he digs around and gives you a folded piece of paper and the ring and the stone.
Thank you very much. And I would make it so that somebody can't just walk in your door, just in case one of your neighbors decides that they can't wait till morning. And if that were to be the case, I would yell very loud for your friend Rodrigo, and I will come.
Okay.
Maybe put I don't know. You got a chair. You got a something heavy. Anyway, it's been very nice meeting you. I'll see you later.
Okay. He's scared and confused and not sure just what happened. People don't have locks in this town for a reason. Until now.
I'll ruin the culture.
You elevate them to the level of insult.
That's right.
Everyone has true locks.
You have to be civilized. Be
And a dog.
very afraid of your neighbors.
You get the dog. It's better.
You gotta trust them. They're very nice, but you gotta trust them.
Whew.
All right. I will respectfully leave out his door and stroll back, and I wonder what's been happening with my friend Nicolo and my other friends.
Well, by this time, Prayoden, you were going to go look for them if they were gone for. You didn't really give a limit, but I guess you and Derisha were going to go take a look, see.
Yeah, I think we find him as he's walking out of the house.
Yeah, and let's see. I think I'm gonna kind of like lie. I think I'm gonna hide until he's like walked past, and I'm gonna kind of come up to him from behind, and I mean, I would just like, huh?
To do that, you'd have to kind of go around because you come out. You hang a left from farmer the Bospers farmhouse.
Okay.
There's a little bit of the lane, and that house is like right next door. And as you come out and look, you'll see Nico standing there. And so you can wait. You'd have to wait.
Actually, in that case, I'll go talk to Nico.
Yeah, you see Nico. He's standing there. He said he was just standing there looking up at the stars. So you can walk up. You see him right there. He's no more than 30 feet away.
And I'll ask him. I'll ask him where Father Bell is.
Rodrigo.
Oh.
I know it's hard. Fake sons, dark eye.
Rodrigo went that way. He had to let something out of his pants. That did not translate properly. He had to drop a log.
He went to go rob from that child, didn't he?
What child?
He was a child, right? Or...
Oh, Ulrich's a grown man.
Oh, I was picturing him as a kid.
No, he's a grown man. Same.
Well, he went to go rob, steal that stone, didn't he?
No.
What?
He went to go
sure, and I don't
to
think
the bathroom. He went to go relieve himself.
And you guys have been gone quite a while.
I did say we wanted fresh air and to look at the sky.
Hmm.
It's a nice, chilly autumn night.
It's a little colder than I prefer. I will tell you this right now. I am used to warmer and a little more humid. But the stars are right there. Perfect for everyone to look at.
You two are up to something.
Everyone is up to something. One can only assume and hope and try to be up to the stars with their goals and achievements.
And what are yours?
However, if there is actually anything nefarious that is afoot, it is neither myself nor Rodrigo.
So you're speaking for him too, then?
He is going to the bathroom right now, still pinching off a loaf. I'm sure if you listen really well, you can probably hear him go a little bit.
Nico, you come up on this or not, Rodrigo, you come up on this conversation of.
Are you feeling better, Rodrigo?
I'm a much better.
Good.
I think
Road travel and constipation go hand in hand.
so. Brian, I mean, it's so nice.
Hand it over.
No. Hand what over? No,
I'm-
I have. Wait,
You're-
let me explain. Well, let me sum up. I had a very nice conversation on my way back with Howard, and he was very worried because he is a descendant of one of the kobolds, and there are other descendants of the kobolds, and he is a man of peace, and he does not want to involve himself in endangering the village or having greed invade his neighbors. But there are other neighbors, and they want their piece of the treasure of the kobolds. So he has entrusted me, and by me, I mean all of us, in protecting the village. And he has given me the map and the magic ring that opens the door, and the glowing blue stone, which I told him I would give it back to him after we get it worked out with the mayor. So he's going to come over and have a conversation with the mayor in the morning before his neighbors come to beat him up and take away the map. But he won't have the map because I have the map.
You spin quite a long thread there, sir.
It's one of my charms.
Dorisha, maybe we should go check and see if that man is all right.
What? Of course, go ahead. But he's going to have to put something very, very heavy against the door because I told him his neighbors might be coming. They might not wait till the morning. And you might give him a bit of a scare.
I won't scare him. I have dark sight too. If I go walk around his house, am I able to see signs of disturbance or anything?
Give me a perception. You won't have penalties.
I
dwarf.
don't. True.
And you'd be surprised how well she can stealth in play.
I have put many points in stealth on purpose.
That's a very impressive. Brandon, I don't know what I've done to earn your distrust. So
Can I
I
spend
think
a
you
fate
did,
point?
and I don't think you're telling me.
So I spent a fate point because my perception wasn't great, but it's better now.
Okay. Okay.
I rolled a 1 on one of my rolls.
Okay. Remember, skill, you need 2 ones in that
Right.
set of 3. So.
So my perception is QL2.
Okay. It doesn't look like nothing's broken. The windows are shut. The door is shut. It's dark inside the house. You don't hear a dog.
There's not
Or
even a
cat.
candle or anything lit?
No,
Okay.
not that you can see.
All right. I'm going to take Rodrigo at his suspicious word.
You're not going to barge in and break the door down?
I only do that when it's necessary.
Okay. You're all standing in the street.
Mm-hmm. Enjoying the
Well-
night air and the stars in the
Mm.
sky.
Hannaford's
So-
sleeping great. She's doing just fine. She'll be the only one that's not tired in the morning.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go to bed.
So what did you see, Dorisha?
No signs of disturbance. It looks like the house is secured, so I assume that whatever Rodrigo did and harm the man inside. I propose that we call it a night and go meet the mayor in the morning.
So be it.
Thank you, Dorisha. And thank you, Pruitt. I mean, it's a trust but verify kind of thing. I understand. I'm going to go to bed.
Okay.
I'll be in shortly. I'm still enjoying the night air.
Okay. Rodrigo goes inside. What's everyone else gonna do? Return to bed? Okay.
Yeah, with one eye half open, I guess.
Sleep with your staff clutched so no one steals it.
I do
Mark.
have the nervous trait after all, apparently.
Not a white maid. She's a little twitchy.
So I'm going to find a nice place to hide for the next couple hours and wait to see if somebody else comes to bother Alric.
No. You sit there for a couple of very cold hours. It's probably close to midnight now.
Okay. Head in,
Okay.
do a little bit of cleaning on my boots, because, of course, again, and then crash.
Yeah, no paved streets in this hill. Okay. Next morning dawns. A nice warm porridge breakfast is served at Vosper Glimmerdale's farmhouse. He's excited for the day. Instructs his son, now make sure the bull gets over there on time. Yes, father. Yes, father. And he leaves. He eats and quick dashes out. He has things to do. Do you join in the Harvest Thanks Festival for Parain and Travia?
Oh, indeed.
Absolutely.
Did Alaric hasn't come over?
Was he supposed to come over and get you? I thought he was supposed to go talk to the mayor first thing.
Supposed to come to talk to the mayor, but I thought he would. Well, he's got to interpret what I said. But I said he should come to talk to the mayor first thing.
Oh, you know, he might hide in his house all day.
Well, that's true. But
Scary man.
if I have my porridge and Alaric hasn't shown up yet, I'll say, Brandon, would you mind coming with me and we can go check on Alaric?
To
Yes,
whom?
Braden.
Brandon.
I'm
Sure.
He
going.
needs a cover. He needs a cover story.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Oh, Brandon, would you come with me and go so we can check on Alaric at his house? Because I thought he was going to come and talk to the mayor first thing, but maybe I was not clear on that.
Yes, I'll come along.
Congrats.
I'm going to.
Oh, please.
Although I'm more keeping my eye on him than.
Should I get two witnesses when you find the body, right? That way,
There's
like,
a pair.
see, it was not me.
And I'll go and I'll make a very respectful knock, knock, knock. I mean, look around, of course. Is there anything obvious?
No, doesn't look like anyone broke in, did anything.
Okay.
You don't get an answer. Knock, knock, knock.
I gotta confess, I'm a worried. Brandon, you are a white mage. What should we do? I'm worried about Alaric.
Well, perhaps he went straight over.
perhaps. But I thought he was going to come and talk to the mayor.
Well, I wasn't the one that had the conversation with him, so I'm not sure what you agreed on.
But Nicolo overheard that Jasper and some other villagers were saying they were going to come in the morning because they wanted the treasure.
Give me a
Should we look in the house?
perception. You can look in the house if you want, but you can give me a perception as you're all standing in his yard.
That is a.
And there's plenty of people in the village out there setting up decorations, doing different things. They're setting up kind of a rope area outside of town in a big field.
I got a QL3.
3, you got 1. Prayodin.
Don't rush him.
Working on it.
If you want, you don't have to I'm looking for anything. And
well, yeah, I was gonna check. Let's see. I know I succeeded. I just don't know what quality level. Let's see. Oh, actually, okay. Well, I didn't have to spend anything. So 3. So that would be a QL1.
Okay. And QL1 is more than enough. As you guys are standing in front of his door discussing where could he be, he was supposed to come talk to the mayor. You spot him over in the middle of the area where the shrine is, and they're setting up like sheaves of grain for the sacrifice. And you see him over there, and he's actually talking to Jasper. And there's a lot of gesticulations from Jasper's part and knife hands and no fisticuffs. Just they seem to be having an animated conversation.
All right.
He throws his hands up, and Jasper stalks away. Stomp, 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 stomp. Heads back towards the tavern.
Well, we can go with the mayor, but we can go to the festival. And maybe Ulrich will talk to the mayor then.
I mean, it's early. I mean,
yeah. What do you think, friend Prayden? What do you want to do?
To the mayor.
All right. Lead on.
So you go back to the farmhouse. Yeah, the mayor's putting on very nice. Looks like his best coat.
Senora Mayor, I have a little preview of a conversation that might be happening with you a little later on. As you know, Ulrich spoke to a tall elfin woman from the woods.
Yes, it was amazing, wasn't it? I wonder what it was about. We don't get those visitors.
I have a little insight. It was about the kobolds.
The legend?
Indeed. And apparently, Ulrich's great-great-grandfather, great-grandfather, whatever, 100 years ago, he was a part of the kobolds.
No.
It's hard to envision a man of peace and healing like that having an ancestor as bloodthirsty and greedy as a kobold. But
yes, he's our village healer, and when travelers do come through, he's well known to trade for herbs and healing remedies.
He's a very good man.
Saved many a soul in this village.
Yeah. Well, I think he's going to come and talk to you about it. But as a precaution, he entrusted me with the things that the elf gave him, because they could be a source of great trouble for people in the village, because it is a treasure map and the key and the piece of treasure.
Aha! It's true. It does exist. I knew it.
Yes, but Mr. Mayor, he is seeking your wisdom and our protection so that the village is not torn apart by the descendants of the bandits who think that they ought to have the treasure.
You think he's in danger?
There are some other people in the village that also have the stories of the bandits in their past.
Yes, yes. Everyone claims to be a descendant, but it's impossible. They all can't live here.
But some of them do. Hey, I hope he's going to come and talk to you about it. But I'm not going to hold on to these dangerous things. And I think me and my friends are going to try and find out what the truth is. With your kind of permission.
I am inclined to trust you since you saved my life.
That's a very generous.
What does Preodin think of this?
Oh, he doesn't trust me. But he's a very good man. It'll work out.
Yes, I do. I do think that he is in danger, and that we should figure this out and offer protection to him.
Very well. I trust the judgment of Preodin. Hopefully this benefits the village and doesn't tear it apart as Rodrigo fears. But today we give thanks.
Indeed.
Would you be interested in riding the bull? There's a competition for that.
No. I had a bad experience once with a bull. I prefer to watch.
It will be exciting.
I'm sure it will be.
Come, we must go. I have to give the opening speech. Do you all go to the festival? Yep. It's just outside the village. So
I assume I was already there helping set up.
yeah, whatever, you know. You can be with them, you're helping set up. You can help Gisbert get the bull over there.
I don't know these shifty characters.
Yeah. No one offered you a cut of the treasure.
I haven't had a chance to talk to her.
She's not interested, you shifty southerner.
I'm very wounded.
Your distrust hurts in my heart. Yes, and he explains that there's going to be a bull riding contest. There'll be some other competitions, some wrestling. There'll be a goose chase and be interpreted by the adept. And then we will sacrifice the bull and feast upon him, thanking Parain and Travia for the harvest. No one's interested in riding the bull?
Can't imagine my friend Nico wouldn't want to ride the bull. It's not that different from a horse.
Maybe you can convince Nico to do it. That would be splendid.
That is the single most insane thing I've ever heard in my life, and I cannot believe it came from your mouth.
I will, of course, be happy to defend my title.
Very well. There you go. And that's the biggest event of the harvest. It's quite you say feather in your hat to be the winner. Several people will try to ride the bull to see who can succeed. And sometimes it gets a little dangerous when you get thrown off and the bull gets more irritated. Alric has helped people before as they've been stomped or gored from the bull.
You see, I already got a feather in my hat.
Yes, and I don't recognize it. We put eagle and hawk feathers in our hats, but
There's a peacock.
large. I've never seen a feather that color.
Yeah, it's a very fashionable. This is what we wear on being salt.
Ah. Mayor, today is the harvest. Let us give thanks to Parain and Travia and let the games begin. Lots of clapping, cheering. There's a little pen area. We will start with the bull riding.
And
Would you like to go first?
a Fred.
This is a ride check.
One would argue that something trained gives a ride roll. Something, jumping around requires body control. Because what people do on a bull is not riding.
It's holding on for dear life.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Do your body control as you leap upon the beast's back. It's not like it has a saddle and stirrups. And the way the competition works, each rider, because this is a successful one, not just you make one check and it's done. You'll have to do round by round, make checks. You must accumulate 2L7 to complete your ride. And each rider, each round, the bull kind of gets a little bit angrier and it's harder to stay on.
QL2.
QL2. Okay, so you jump up, you jump on the bull. No penalty at the beginning because he's kind of calm. He's just standing there looking at it with his big brown eyes. Muscles bulge under his skin. He has a wreath of autumn flowers around his neck and a bundle of grain seeds crowned on his head, as you do in the autumn fests. And there's shouts, "Hannah Fred," as you jump upon the bull for the first, and it starts to buck and spin. So that was 2. Next round, you need to make a check.
I'm seeing a fate point being spent.
QL1.
QL1. Okay, so you're up to 3.
Sorry, I'm still learning how to do this.
Now,
Yeah,
can you use your skill points to buy down a single 20 roll, or 20 is kind of
When
locked?
you're rolling all 3, a single 20 is just a bad roll. If you can have enough points to mitigate it down to a success, you're good to go. It just uses a lot more points because most people don't have a 18, 19 attribute yet. They're quite expensive as you get experience to raise them up. Failure means you get tossed off. As long as you get at least QL1 and keep building it up. You've got 5 rounds to get QL7.
QL2.
Okay, QL2, you're up to 5. Now, 1, 2, 3. Okay, this next check is going to be at -2. So all your attributes count as 2 lower. Because he's getting quite PO'd and he's spinning and bucking and it's harder to hold on to. So your checks will be -2 at this round. Yeah, this is 4, and then the last one will be a -3.
Except they tell you that you probably look really bad. I don't think my scum looks good. One too many rounds.
The chat suggests it should be a dance-off.
QL1. Sorry.
That's fine. So you're up to 6. One more check, and you need one more QL at -3. one more success. Oh, I was hoping the expression was, "Oh my God, I rolled 3 20s."
No, I rolled a 1, a 2, and an 8.
That probably succeeds even with the penalties.
Yes.
-3.
Right.
3, 6. Yep. So you succeed in making your check and hopping off with no damage. If you had been bucked off, it's 3d6 falling damage. And then you're in close combat, and the bull attempts to trample and gore you. So it can get ugly really quick. And a few other people want to ride the
didn't
bull.
want to do that.
Yeah. A few other people try to ride. They get tossed off, run away. No one's seriously injured and gored. By the end of it, after 4 or 5 riders, the bull is exhausted, and they lead them off, and there'll be the sacrifice to Parain. And it's respectful. I mean, there's cheering while you're riding, and then they respectfully lead it off, and it will be tomorrow's feast.
So is Alric in the crowd cheering and stuff, or is he performing official duties?
Yeah, no, he's in the crowd. He's in the crowd, and you're cheering. You're watching Hannafrid, and you look around, and you actually see him talking to the mayor off to the side after everything starts. And the mayor is nodding his head, puts his hand on the shoulder, gives him his thing, and you don't know what they say, but they're talking.
Are we nearby him, or can we position ourselves just to be kind of there in case anything?
It's not like you're at the Superdome. There's not thousands of people. There's only
50 people.
If you
And also, chat, wanting a little goring. Shame on you.
Did they? They said dance off. Oh, boo! He wanted goring, a little goring. Maybe not from you. I mean, if there was 4 or 5 riders.
I could totally have jumped on that, immediately fallen off and gotten gored and then trampled and dead.
That's right. It's
in that order.
Yeah, trample is not. Yeah, it doesn't have a great. Trample is a lot of damage. Horn thrust is not for goring.
Oh, that makes it all better.
Yeah.
I will make sure to congratulate Hannaford on her spectacular ride.
She gets a little, crown of the autumn flowers. Again, mayor announces 3-time champion Hannaford Altlapper. Gives you the crown. Huzzah! And there's kegs of ale out here. People are drinking. Not heavily. They're just, as you do at country fairs. There's a tug of war that's going to be next. Some people line up. A few friendly wrestling matches. Then there's the all-important goose race where the Adelar, the Blessed One of Parain, he looks very young, like he's just got his frock. And he has to watch the race and interpret the coming year's prognosis for the farmers. Kind of passive entertainment. It's there. It's all important for the religious aspect of this, but most of the villagers are there for the ale and the wrestling and the bull riding.
And anything notable about Jasper or any of his compatriots in the crowd?
Okay, another one of those all-important perception checks to see if you spot the man.
Yes, let's see here. That's probably not going to be very good. Sagacity. Good. Oh, that's not so bad. So QL2.
They're not together. They're spread out amongst the crowds, and it's not Jasper, but one of his compatriots.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking at Alric with quite the scowl, this look of disdain on his face.
Mistress Hannaford, Champion Hannaford, may I have a moment of your time?
As long as the ale is flowing.
Have another tankard. So last night I had a little chat with your neighbor Alric, and I don't know if you know him, but his great grandfather was a kobold.
Most of the people in this town can trace at least some of their lineage back, if they're being honest.
What about you?
I'm sure that me grandpappy got up to no good.
Well, you see that gentleman over there with the unpleasant look on his face?
You'll have to be more specific. There hasn't been enough ale yet.
That one right there, looking at Alric.
It's Burgal, clothmaker. He's one of Jasper's friends, kind of dim-witted, greedy, rough.
Oh, you'll have to forgive him. There's some nasty smelling things that you have to use to dye a cloth.
Well, I gotta say, see, in my conversation with Alric, he unburdened himself of some things that the elf lady gave him that are the keys to the treasure of the cowboy. But you see,
The legend.
Burgal.
Don't tell me you fell for that.
Sure, I fell for it, and so did Burgal and Jasper and some other gentlemen from the town. And they are very mad that Alric is not giving them the things that he gave me for all of us to help out the town. So I was hoping that perhaps you might help me go and straighten Mr. Burgal out so that he didn't have unkind thoughts anymore about Mr. Alric.
Clearly you don't know about the human soul. You can't change a man's heart. Only he can do that.
But you can put the fear of gods in him.
That's just true.
And, well, I was thinking of explaining that to him, but then I thought, you are going to be a much better explainer than me. And I could just help.
Well, generally, the mayor is supposed to handle all disputes.
Yeah, well, I saw how he handled the dispute yesterday, and the person handling the dispute with the 6 Bravos, that was you.
Flattery. Why does that not surprise me?
I gotta play to my strengths.
Very well.
It works, especially when it's true.
I thank you. So I will go and approach.
Burgal,
Thank you.
he is known for his short temper, too. He's had quite a few fights at the inn, or at the tavern, not the inn, really, but the tavern. What would you like to say to Burgal, the dim-witted?
Burgal, it seems to me that you have not had enough to drink today. You were spending too much time pining after things you kind of have. Let me get you another pint.
Yes, let's.
And then I'm going to take him on a path behind one of the houses and run him straight into the corner.
Like bounce him off the corner, or
Yeah, right there. Full point.
okay. Give me. I'm glad I'm a flexible GM because you guys have totally derailed the whole adventure. But that's okay. You're headed in the right direction. Let's see. It's not a social.
I'm just trying to put him in mind of having a hangover the next day.
Body control.
Very
Yay!
circuitously in the direction.
Yeah, body control or feat of strength because you're trying to bounce him off the wall. Yes?
Specifically his heddle region.
It might not be the best place because that's probably the thickest part of his skull right there, but that's okay. I get what you're doing.
I'm just keeping an eye out for Jasper and
Rodrigo could probably just
that other
talk him
guy.
into unconsciousness because it would just confuse him and it would overload and he'd just fall over. I'm sure if it doesn't work, Dorisha will run over and make him shorter.
Yeah, if you need some feat of strength points, I have some.
You have like grapple or any of the for your combat skills that would help?
me or her?
Hannaford, as your on the third page should be your combat stuff. Under combat special abilities has grapple and such.
I do have fist brawling, and
There
I
you
do
go.
have a cudgel if that will work better. But I
Oh.
still have a QL1.
Okay.
You didn't want to do a fate point? Here.
I didn't need to.
Okay.
Yep. No, you're good. Now the other thing, I'm going to get into detail with the fates. You can use them to re-rolls. You can spend them on certain special abilities, and you can also just spend it just to raise whatever you've done by 1 QL. So if you succeed, but you like, I really want to get just that one better, you can spend a fate point to raise it, but you have to be successful first. So you caught him by surprise. He wasn't expecting this. You're promised him more ale, and now you're going to bounce his head off a post.
Well, I provided the hangover.
Pre-ale hangover.
She's just skipping to the end.
Yeah, yeah.
I promised to prop him up after.
Okay.
Virgo walks into a bar, or rather,
A house.
Oh, and roll 16. I'm going to try to give him a body control to not hit it as you launch him into it. Body control is agility, agility, con. Oh, yeah, wow. Okay, he hits, straightens up, tips right down, he's laying on the ground. Eyes are crossed.
So then I'll, pick him up and lean him against the house like he's sleeping it off.
Put a mug of ale next to him as incriminating evidence.
An empty mug of ale.
Do you empty it?
Well,
You can't waste it.
right.
I was gonna say, waste not.
Very good. You hit him, he plops to the ground. No one says anything. If they do notice, it's not the first time he's had an altercation with someone, so they're not too concerned.
Is that what you had in mind?
Better than I could have even imagined.
Very well. I'll be back at the party.
The games go on for the day. There's the goose race, and it ends with the blessing of the fields. That is an actual religious spell that the Blessed One does for the next year. The Blessed One of Parain Adelar, I gotta look at the name real quick. And that he blesses the fields, and then they set they made a stork out of the grains, and there's a ritual burning of that sacrifice. And that ends the day's festivities. People will continue to sing and drink. Is there anyone else you want to beat up while you're in town? Just a general group question, not specifically to Hannaford.
I just want to make sure that I give the glowing gem at some point to Dorisha for her review. Because I'm just I just dwell in stereotypes. In Vidsalt, we would just say, hey, those dwarves, they know all about gems. So,
are you going to do this in the field in front of everyone?
No. I would want to find some opportune moment when people would be distracted, or later on,
This would be a magic lore roll for those who are interested.
Because I don't got nothing pretty much about that.
Yeah.
Nope.
So you're going to go back to the farmer's house, somewhat private.
My friend Dorisha. So there's this glowing stone that Alaric had, and it's from the treasure. And anyway, I thought maybe you know something about it.
I do not succeed, so I don't know anything about it, but I probably can tell you it's not a natural stone.
Am I there, or did you go privately to her?
I mean, I wouldn't mind Praedon seeing me show it to her, but...
So you said it was a what kind of magic lore?
Magic lore.
Well, so question, because I have more points in myths and legends.
If you want, yeah, you give me myths and legends if you want.
Because I don't have any points in magical lore, and I already failed that one.
Hannaford.
Brandon may have to roll because the attack kitty decided she doesn't
No, it's okay.
want that one.
I didn't have to.
Yeah.
That would be a QL2.
For magic lore and a QO1 for myths and legends.
Yep.
Okay. You're not sure magical-wise, Dorisha. You kind of look at it like, I remember a myth of these glowing stones. Gwen's, and then Praedon can finish your sentence and say it's a Gwen petrol stone. They glow magically forever. There's magic imbued in the stone. You expose it and it glows, kind of like a torch, but it won't go out, won't burn out. They are, with QL2, they're not like, I want to say super rare. They're very expensive.
Well, if we're going somewhere where kobolds used to be, this could be very useful. But I did promise to give it back to Alaric when we're done.
And with your myths and legends, Dorisha, you remember in all the different tellings of the story, that was a magic item that was destined for the Temple of Ephod in Havina. And it was stolen before it got delivered.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. Does that myth say, do I know when that myth originated?
The legend from the kobolds that one of the things that they stole not just monies and things. They stole this magic item that was going to the temple,
Okay.
and that's why connect the dots. The elf said, "Here, this is proof it exists. Here's this magic item from the treasure."
All right. So I will share that with Rodrigo and Braden.
Okay, so between it's a magic stone. It glows. They're called Gwen Petrol stones, and they're worth a lot of money.
That's like the primary purpose. Is there? Do I know if they may have like a secondary, like I don't know, like other qualities that they maybe sought out for?
No, I mean just glowing in the dark is
Okay.
quite nice. You don't have to have torches and lamps. They don't blow out. They work underwater. So, and they're rare. So just normal gems are rare and expensive. So
Heat as well, or is it just light?
just light. Doesn't get warm at all. Just light. Think of a certain old wizard's stone that he blows on and sticks in his staff and it glows. Except you don't have to put any AE into it. It just glows. When you pull it out of a pouch, it glows.
Yeah, they probably got a different one after 100 years. So,
Very good. So in the morning, what were you guys planning to do?
Well, so here's this map.
You're meeting the morning after the festival, right?
Yes, the next morning. I mean,
Okay, good.
Unless you want to go at night, just because you have a glowing stone.
Nope.
I'm guessing in the next morning, your plan is to do something?
Huddle around the map and trying to get some sort of local point of reference to work from.
Okay. Very good. So you've somehow convinced Alric to give up his, I don't want to say dowry, but
birthright,
his inheritance.
Patrimony.
Yeah, passed down, and you have made some veiled promises of sharing something with him. At least Rodrigo has, but you're going to take the burden of this problem from him. And in the morning, you plan on venturing into the also dangerous and magical Kosh Mountains to look for this hidden treasure. Am I correct?
Yep.
That's 100% right.
Okay. So at this point, we will pause for tonight, and we will continue with part 3 of Late Mail next Tuesday, which is the 21st, coincides with the crowdfunding of the Gods of Aventuria that Ulysses International will be putting out. Hope you enjoyed tonight's twist on the story for those who have played Late Mail or are familiar with the tale. And when we're all done, I will share with the players what wonderful things they skipped over and won't experience that I spent hours preparing. And we'll see how it goes and if they can find this hidden treasure of the mountains. Kind of reminds me of the Lost Dutchman's Mine, that story of the Southwest that we have. Is the treasure there? Is there treasure to be had? Is it just a story? Will they survive whatever awaits them? We will find out next Tuesday. For those of you who watched, thank you for supporting Ulysses Twitch and subscribing. Hope you had fun. Hope the players all had fun. Thanks for playing. It's been a blast. It's fun when you guys take the story in a different direction, and I have to think what should happen. I was worried shortly just that there might be a TPK internal, and I would just sit back and watch you guys kill each other because there's a little distrust going on. That didn't happen. Thank goodness. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for playing. And we will see you again, same time on Tuesday.